The percentage of people without a high school education in North County can be represented by the equation y equals 0.14 times 0.83 to the power of t. Interpret the parameters of the equation. We can tell right away that this is not an exponential growth equation because the number inside the parentheses is lower than 1. In an exponential growth equation, the general form is 1 plus the rate. And so that means the thing in parentheses always has to be higher than 1. If we're doing 1 plus something, the answer would be higher than 1. Here, 0.83 is lower than 1. That means we subtracted something from 1. So this is what's known as exponential decay. And the general form of exponential decay looks exactly like the general form of exponential growth, except there is a minus sign. So it is y equals a times 1 minus r to the power of x. And everything means exactly the same thing as it did before, except now we're subtracting instead of adding because things are going down instead of up. Now, in the context of this problem here, that's a good thing. The percentage of people who don't have a high school education is going down. Let's go ahead and interpret this equation and see if we can say something intelligent about it. So it's 0.14 times 0.83 to the power of t. Okay, the percentage of people without a high school diploma. So that's what y is going to be. Y is going to be the percentage without a high school diploma. The problem isn't really specific. Well, it's not specific at all, but I feel like it's a reasonable thing for us to say that t is years. It doesn't say years since when, so we'll just say years. And this A in front, this 14, is the initial amount. So the initial amount, did I spell that right? I did not spell that right. In initial, golly. I'm not going to be winning any spelling bees. Initial amount of 14%. Okay, so the initial amount was 14%, which is good. I mean, I guess, all things considered, 14% don't have a high school education. That's not ideal, but it's not an enormous percent. And the good news is it's going down. Down by how much? Well, our number in the parentheses is 0.83, and we know that 0.83 is 1 minus r. 1 minus r is 0.83. So what's r? Pretty simple algebra can tell us that r is 0.17 or 17%. So what that means is every year, the number of people who do not have a high school diploma is going to decrease by 17%. Now, don't get mixed up here. That doesn't mean in 1 year, everybody's going to have a high school diploma. It doesn't mean like, well, we started off with 14% and then it decreases by 17%. Isn't that negative 3%? No, because it's 14% of the entire population. So let's say 14% is 1,000 people. 1,000 people do not have a high school diploma. And then next year that drops by 17%. It's 17% of 1,000. So 170 fewer people now have a high school diploma. That's still 830 people who don't have one, which is lower than 14%, but still not zero. So the percent is going to go down every year, but it's not like in 1 year we go from 14% to negative 3%. That's not how percents work. We're going to have 17% fewer people. That doesn't mean zero people. Okay, so this is how we interpret the parameters for an exponential decay function. It's exactly like exponential growth, except instead of the percentages going up, the percentages go down. Otherwise, everything stays the same.